विनीत इंडियन टीम के बेस का जो एक पिलर है वो बहुत टाइम से लड़खड़ा रहा है। रोहित शर्मा फॉर्म, जैसे कि हमने टॉकिंग पॉइंट्स में लिखा है, रोहित शर्मा फॉर्म, इज इट अ पॉइंट ऑफ कंसर्न फॉर द इंडियन टीम, और इज इट टू अर्ली टू बी कंसर्न्ड अबाउट रोहित फॉर्म? व्हाट इज योर थॉट्स ऑन द वे ही इज गेटिंग आउट?
Yeah, Kanav, when we discussed about this before we started the show, कि थोड़ा ऐसा लग रहा था कि form is a big issue for somebody like a Rohit Sharma. And I was just going back and looking at the stats, and of course, in the past, I think 10 test innings, he has had scores of under 10, 4, 5 times. 4 times, sorry. So yeah, there's a big worry there, but also in among those 10 test innings, there are two centuries also. One in Rajkot versus England, and against England and Ranchi. So I wouldn't say it's that kind of a big form, but as you mentioned, I think the key point is the last bit that you mentioned, the way that he is getting out. We also had this discussion about that Tim Southee delivery, that how he played all around it. The angle of the bat that was coming in was completely wrong. It was a bit straighter. He could have easily, defended that delivery, but he just played all around that delivery, which wasn't a peach kind of a delivery, but it was still a very decent delivery. But somebody of his caliber should have been able to defend it. So that is more of a worry more than the lack of runs, so to speak. But then again, I think the top order for India, it's never been the case where they have all clicked together as a team. But the good thing is that someone of the other has stepped up. Even if Rohit Sharma has failed or Virat Kohli has failed, somebody else has stepped up. I think as a whole that matters. But of course, Rohit Sharma personally would want to get some runs under his belt. He has been playing that aggressive cricket for a fair long time. Maybe he may have to dial that down and try to spend more time on the pitch. And once he gets his eye in, it's a treat to watch. I think that is not we are not able to see that very often these days. I think that is probably why we are talking about the concern in form and etc. But of course, if you are somebody of Rohit Sharma's caliber and you have not had 50 plus score in your 4 innings or 5 innings, that might seem to be a bit of worry. But he's the captain, of course, right? So at least you give him that kind of a leeway there.
Absolutely, he gets that leeway, but then again, his form is really crucial, especially going into BJT. But as Animesh, do you think for you personally is it a concern? Because as we said, as we discussed, that it's the way he's getting out today. Also, it was a good delivery, but it wasn't an unplayable delivery that someone of Rohit's caliber should have gotten out on. What is your thoughts on the way Rohit has been batting in the red ball cricket for quite some time now?
देखिए, दिक्कत की बात तो है, परेशानी बनी हुई है लगातार, वो उतनी अच्छी फॉर्म में नहीं दिख रहा है, लेकिन अब आपके पास ऑप्शन नहीं है। आप केएल राहुल के बारे में बात नहीं कर रहे कि उनको टीम से बाहर का रास्ता दिखाया जा सकता है, प्लेइंग 11 से रेस्ट दिया जा सकता है, या 15 मैन से स्क्वाड निकाल कर रणजी में भेजा जा सकता है। और जो हम विराट कोहली के बारे में लेकर बात करते हैं कि इस परेशानी का हल सिर्फ विराट कोहली के पास है कि उनकी फॉर्म अच्छी नहीं चल रही है, और वही चीज़ रोहित शर्मा पे भी अप्लाई होती है कि अगर वो अच्छी फॉर्म से नहीं गुजर रहे तो उस चीज़ का सॉल्यूशन भी रोहित शर्मा के ही पास है कि उनको कोई बैटिंग एक्सपर्ट आके ये नहीं बता सकता कि भाई आप ये चेंज कीजिए या वो चेंज कीजिए तो आपकी बैटिंग में कहीं ना कहीं सुधार देखने को मिल सकता है। मुझे लगता है कहीं ना कहीं खराब दिन है और वो दिन बदल सकते हैं, और मुझे लगता है कहीं ना कहीं जब ओवरसीज की बात आती है तब रोहित शर्मा अपने प्राइम में दिखने लगते हैं, जैसे भी कहीं भी उनकी कितनी भी खराब फॉर्म हो, और वो जब ओवरसीज टूर्स पे होते हैं तो वो फॉर्म उनकी वापस आ जाती है। और मैं इसी होप के साथ अभी भी स्टिक करना चाहूँगा कि बीजीटी में जाते ही कहीं ना कहीं उनका वो फॉर्म वापस आए, और उससे पहले अभी आपके पास 3 इनिंग्स और 4 इनिंग्स बची हुई हैं, इस मैच की 2 इनिंग्स और अगले मैच में 2 इनिंग्स, वहाँ पर कहीं ना कहीं वापसी करने की कोशिश होगी। पहली इनिंग तो बेकार चली गई, वेस्ट हुआ एक तरीके से, और जिस तरीके से आउट हुए वो दिख रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं एक मेंटल कह सकते हैं बाइसनेस उनके अंदर चल रही है कि वो अपने गेम में उतनी क्लैरिटी नहीं ला पा रहे, और वो क्लैरिटी ना पाने की वजह से आपको ये ड्रॉबैक देखने को मिल रहा है कि वो जिस तरीके से आज बोल्ड हुए सऊदी के खिलाफ, तो क्योंकि वो इतनी भी बेहतरीन बॉल गेंद नहीं थी जिसपे आप रोहित शर्मा जैसा बैट्समैन आपको आउट होता हुआ दिखे और इस तरीके से बोल्ड होता हुआ दिखे, तो ये कहीं ना कहीं दिखाता है कि कहीं ना कहीं एक मेंटल ड्रॉबैक चल रहा है और उसको लेकर वो क्लैरिटी नहीं ला पा रहे हैं, और वही क्लैरिटी उनकी बैटिंग में रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं कर रही, तो उसको लेकर ही काम करना होगा। मुझे लगता है कि अब जो दौर है क्रिकेट का, वहां पर कहीं ना कहीं मेंटल बैकड्रॉप ज्यादा होता है, खासकर बैटर्स के साथ, और वो कहीं ना कहीं उनको कोप अप भी उसी से करना होता है, और रोहित शर्मा इस चीज़ में माहिर खिलाड़ी हैं, पहले भी कोप अप करते हुए आए हैं, और इसी उम्मीद के साथ हमें आगे बढ़ना चाहिए, मुझे लगता है।
Yeah, absolutely. He's a great batter across formats, and he knows how to make a comeback of sorts. South, if you want to add something, you can. Then we'll quickly wrap up this live. And but I have one more question before we end this live for all three of you. But yes, please, your take on Rohit.
Before getting into this, I want to ask you, Kanaf, if India needs a draw, will you bet on Rohit Sharma?
If India needs a draw, I mean, you mean to bat out 2 days or
To
a
bat out,
two
to
and a
bat
half
out,
days?
bat out.
For no, not 2 days. No,
That
I
tells you the
don't see
answer.
him
See,
batting
Test
for two
cricket is
days.
something.
But
Yeah,
it's
Test cricket
rarely.
is
It's
something.
rarely.
I think
There's
you won't be
only
able to bet on anybody to bat 2 days now.
anybody. Yeah, there's
1.5
not
days
even a
at least.
single batter.
1.5
No,
days.
only
One and
I
a half
think
days. There is
I
no
don't see. I
Pujara.
don't
There
see
is
anyone.
see what
देन
Viren
पुजारा
Sehwag, the
कन्फर्म,
way
पुजारा's
Viren
रिटर्न
Sehwag,
विल बी कंफर्म ना।
the way Viren Sehwag used to bat that one-dimensional approach, he was comfortable because he had the Dravids, the Tendulkars, and the Lakshmans and the Gangulis below the order. Here you have all youngsters, right? Here you have Virat Kohli out of form. Here Shubman Gill performed only in the second innings, right? Here you don't know what's happening with KL Rahul. Sarfaraz Khan is a newbie. So ab Jaiswal, too much pressure. You're going to put too much pressure on Jaiswal if this continues to happen, whether in India, whether outside India. So what will you do? I mean, there is hardly any time to change the approach. So you can't have that one-dimensional approach. You have to have that strong mental, strong defense, mentally strong, where you need to have that approach, that attitude to bat it out through the day. I mean, आज at least you should have you should have stayed not out. राइट अगर आप खेल रहे होते स्कूल क्रिकेट में योर कोच वुड हैव होल्ड योर इयर्स एंड पुल यू डाउन एंड सेड क्या बैट से मारा होता सो दैट्स हाउ इट्स दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंस दैट इज व्हाट द प्रॉब्लम इज रोहित शर्मा इज ही गिव्स अवे हिज विकेट्स इजीली आई मीन वो प्राइस ही नहीं रखता है विकेट पे जो मे बी रोहित मे बी सरफराज खान रखता है इट्स नॉट इजी टू गेट
Yeah,
सरफराज खान आउट बट दिस गाय हैज अ रेंज ऑफ शॉट्स but that doesn't mean you have I mean you can't have a strong defense. So you have to be very, very compact. You're an opening batsman. Sehwag was played with full phase of the bat. He never played loose shots like how sometimes Rohit Sharma plays casually. Sehwag was not casual. He took on the attack, but he also had a strong defense. He hardly had any gaps between bat and pad. Yeah, edge out.
yeah,
हो जाता था, yeah. So Rohit Sharma needs to पुश हिज गेम हार्डर ही हैज टू रियलाइज कि यार इज अ कैप्टन वहां पर उसको थोड़ा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ज्यादा लेनी पड़ेगी विकेट पे ज्यादा देर ठहरना पड़ेगा एक अप्रोच लेके मैं इंटेंट के साथ जाऊंगा मैं मारूंगा खत्म करूंगा मैच या तो इस पार या तो उस पार दैट्स नॉट हाउ टेस्ट क्रिकेट इज प्लेड राइट आई मीन या दैट इज द अप्रोच कि यार जीतेंगे या तो जीतेंगे रवि शास्त्री स्टाइल कि यार जीतना ही है मैच दैट इज अ गुड अप्रोच बट देर आर it also backfires, right? There are chances that New Zealand will come back, bounce back. If you get out early, there will be a chances that there will be a major collapse in the lineup because of you getting out cheaply. It might start affecting others. So you have to take a certain kind of responsibility. You have to lead by example, right? And it's been not
yeah,
nothing new. I mean, it's been happening for quite some time. यार एक अच्छा बड़ा नॉक आता है एक मैच विनिंग नॉक आता है उसके बाद प्लेन उसके बाद single digits, double digits, the way he gets out, low shots. That's not how an top class batsman, a captain plays, right? So somewhere he
yeah.
has to draw the line, somewhere he has to curb his instincts, somewhere he has to take up the responsibility. Otherwise, we all know what kind of a batsman he is. He can destroy any bowler in the world. But cricket give respect to the opposition as well as cricket as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you are a great batter. You know how to give good starts to your team. But then again, there are times when you need to just hold your ground and stand there. But I don't think the way Rohit has been getting dismissed, वो कोई मारते हुए नहीं हो रहे हैं. But उनके डिफेंस में ही वो एक लूप होल आता है, एक ऐसी वीकनेस आती है कि वो डिफेंस में ही आज भी जिस तरीके से खेले, he was not
वही तो
going for a
डिफरेंस
six
ही
or
है
a
ना
boundary. Defense is not that strong. Rohit's defense is not that strong, and that is something he can work upon and he needs to work upon. But then again, I don't see any other batter also in the lineup who can bat for 2 days. So this is a big concern going into the BJT. But then again, we'll talk about the BJT when the right time comes.